Hello everyone, let us discuss the basic considerations of pharmacokinetics. So what are the basic definitions? Pharmacokinetics. Pharmacokinetics is defined as the kinetics of ADME, absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion of drug, and their relationship with the pharmacological, therapeutic or toxicological responses in man and animals. So that is the basic definition of pharmacokinetics. It is defined as the kinetics of drug absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion. Now what is dosage regimen? The frequency of administration of a drug in a particular dose is called as dosage regimen. Coming to therapeutic index. Therapeutic index is the ratio of maximum safe concentration to the minimum effective concentration. Therapeutic index is very important and it is the ratio of maximum safe concentration to the minimum effective concentration of the drug. The next one is clinical pharmacokinetics. Clinical pharmacokinetics is defined as the application of pharmacokinetic principles in the safe and effective management of individual patient. Clinical pharmacokinetics is particularly important in case of individualization of drug therapy. Coming to population pharmacokinetics, it is defined as the study of pharmacokinetic differences in drug in various population group. Depending upon their race, ethnicity and all that, population pharmacokinetics is employed to study the pharmacokinetic differences of a particular drug in various population groups. The next one is toxicokinetics. Toxicokinetics is defined as the application of pharmacokinetic principles to the design, conduct and interpretation of the drug safety evaluation studies. The application of pharmacokinetic principles to the design, conduct and interpretation of the drug safety evaluation studies. So these are the basic definitions. Now coming to the aspects of pharmacokinetics. There are mainly two aspects, theoretical aspects and experimental aspects. Coming to theoretical aspects involves development of pharmacokinetic models to predict the drug disposition after its administration. Disposition is nothing but distribution and elimination. The statistical methods are commonly applied to interpret the data and assess various parameters. So, in case of theoretical aspects, development of pharmacokinetic models is seen to predict the drug disposition after administration. The next one is experimental aspects. They involve development of biological sampling techniques such as blood sample and urine sample, and then the analysis of those samples using analytical methods for measurement of drug concentration and the collection of data and evaluation. So experimental aspects involves development of biological sampling techniques, analytical methods for measurement of drug concentration in biological samples, and data collection and then evaluation. Coming to plasma drug concentration time profile. This is a very important graph. A direct relationship exists between concentration of a drug at the biophase, that is site of administration, site of action, and the concentration in the plasma. A direct relationship exists between concentration of drug at biophase, that is nothing but site of action, and the concentration of drug in plasma. So whenever you plot a graph of plasma drug concentration versus time, you get plasma drug concentration time profile. So here the drug is administered at 0 time and gradually the plasma concentration of the drug increases and this phase is called as absorption phase. And it reaches a plateau state, that is nothing but the peak plasma concentration. From this state, there will be a decrease in the plasma drug concentration, and this phase is called as post-absorption phase. The phase in which increase in plasma drug concentration is seen is absorption phase, and where decrease in plasma concentration is seen is, it is called as post-absorption phase. And this is peak plasma concentration, Cmax. And these are the levels. The first one is minimum effective concentration, MEC, and the next one is maximum safe concentration, or a minimum toxic concentration also. So maximum safe concentration and minimum effective concentration. The minimum effective concentration is the minimum concentration of the drug from where the therapeutic response begins. So in order for a drug to act or show its therapeutic effect, the minimum concentration required is the minimum effective concentration. So below the minimum effective concentration is called as subtherapeutic level. Here, the therapeutic response is not effective. It is below the mark. The next one is maximum safe concentration. This is the maximum concentration of the drug which is safe. Above the maximum safe concentration is the toxic levels. So whenever the drug concentration is above the maximum safe concentration, toxic effects are seen, and whenever it is below the minimum effective concentration, subtherapeutic or minimum hypotherapeutic effects are seen. So the range of minimum effective concentration and the maximum safe concentration is called as therapeutic range of a particular drug. It is the range of minimum effective concentration and maximum safe concentration of a particular drug. This is called as therapeutic range. A drug is highly efficacious in its therapeutic range. So this is the plasma drug time profile. And AUC is also important. That is nothing but the area under curve. And here there are certain points like onset of action. Onset of action occurs at the onset time. So whenever this is called as onset of time. So onset of action occurs whenever the drug concentration reaches the minimum effective concentration. Here you can see as it reaches, this is the point when it reaches the minimum effective concentration, then the onset of action occurs. And at Tmax, the time required to reach maximum plasma concentration, Cmax, is called as Tmax also. In the further session, we will be discussing about each of these terms. Tmax, what is Cmax, what is onset of action, and what is area under curve, etc. Coming to the parameters, the two categories of parameters can be evaluated from a plasma concentration time profile. They are pharmacokinetic parameters and pharmacodynamic parameters. So what are pharmacokinetic parameters? The pharmacokinetic parameters that can be evaluated from plasma drug concentration time profile are peak plasma concentration, Cmax, and the time of peak plasma concentration, Tmax, and area under curve. So what is peak plasma concentration or Cmax? The point of maximum concentration of a drug in plasma is called as peak, and the concentration of a drug at peak is known as peak plasma concentration. It is denoted by Cmax and it is expressed as mcg per ml. Now coming to time of peak concentration, Tmax. The time for a drug to reach peak concentration in plasma, the time for a drug to reach Cmax after extravascular administration is called as time of peak concentration. It is expressed in hours or minutes. The next one is area under curve, AUC. It represents the total integrated area under plasma level time profile. It represents the total integrated area under the plasma level time profile and expresses the total amount of drug that comes into systemic circulation after administration. This is an important point. The area under curve expresses the total amount of drug that comes into systemic circulation after administration. AUC is expressed in mcg per ml into hours. Coming to pharmacodynamic parameters. They are minimum effective concentration, maximum safe concentration or minimum toxic concentration, onset of action, onset time, duration of action, intensity of action, therapeutic range, and therapeutic index. Now coming to minimum effective concentration, MEC. It is defined as the minimum concentration of a drug in plasma required to produce the therapeutic effect. The concentration of a drug below MEC is said to be subtherapeutic level. In case of antibiotics, the term minimum inhibitory concentration MIC is used instead of MEC. It describes the minimum concentration of antibiotic in plasma required to kill or inhibit the growth of microorganisms. This is an important point. Usually MEC is used, but in case of antibiotics, MIC, minimum inhibitory concentration, is used. The next term is maximum safe concentration, MSE, or minimum toxic concentration, MTC. It is the concentration of a drug in plasma above which adverse or unwanted effects are precipitated or they occur. The concentration of drug above MSC is said to be in the toxic level. The next term is onset of action. The beginning of pharmacological response is called as onset of action. The time at which the pharmacological response begins is called as onset of action. It occurs when the plasma drug concentration just exceeds the required MEC, that is minimum effective concentration. Onset time. It is the time required for a drug to start producing the pharmacological response. Coming to duration of action. The time period for which the plasma concentration of a drug remains above the MEC level is called as duration of action. It is also defined as the difference between onset time and the time for drug to decline back to MEC. Duration of action is also defined as the time difference between onset time and the time for the drug to decline back to minimum effective concentration. The time period for which the plasma concentration of the drug remains above the MEC is called as duration of action. The next term is intensity of action. It is the maximum pharmacological response produced by the peak plasma concentration of a drug. It is also called as peak response. Intensity of action is also called as peak response. And the next term is therapeutic index and therapeutic range. Coming to therapeutic range, the drug concentration between MEC and MSC represents the therapeutic range as we have discussed in the plasma concentration time profile. It is also known as therapeutic window. Every drug will have the therapeutic range or therapeutic window, and a particular drug is highly efficacious in its therapeutic window. Coming to therapeutic index, the ratio of maximum safe concentration to minimum effective concentration is called as therapeutic index. It is also defined as the ratio of dose required to produce toxic or lethal effects to dose required to produce therapeutic effect. It is a ratio of maximum safe concentration to minimum effective concentration. Coming to rate constants and order of reactions. Until now, we have discussed about the various parameters of pharmacokinetics. Now, let us discuss the mathematical analysis of process of ADM. With the help of rate constants and order of reactions, the pharmacokinetics can be mathematically analyzed. Now coming to rate. What is rate? The velocity with which a reaction or a process occurs is called as rate. The velocity with which a reaction or a process occurs is called as rate. The next one is order of reaction. The manner in which the concentration of a drug influences the rate of reaction or a particular process. How the concentration will affect the rate of reaction is called as the order of reaction or order of process. The three commonly encountered rate processes in physiological system are zero order, first order and mixed order. Zero order kinetics, first order process and mixed order process. These are the three commonly encountered rate processes in the physiological system. Now coming to zero order kinetics. The zero order process can be defined as the one whose rate is independent of the concentration of the drug undergoing reaction. The rate is independent of the concentration. That is, the rate of the reaction cannot be increased further by increasing the concentration of the reaction. In case of zero order kinetics, the rate of the reaction cannot be increased further by increasing the concentration of a drug or reactants. The equation is dC by dt is equal to K naught into C naught. That is nothing but minus K naught. Here, K naught is the zero order rate constant. The units are Mg per ml and C is the concentration of the drug yet to undergo reaction at time t, and t is nothing but time, and C naught is the concentration of the drug at time 0. So this is the equation for zero order kinetics, and this is the graph. dC by dt versus time or concentration versus time. When you plot concentration versus time, the slope is equal to minus K naught, and this is C naught. C naught is nothing but the concentration of drug at time 0. When you plot time versus rate, a steady drug loss is seen. Coming to zero order half-life. What is half-life? Half-life or half-time is defined as the time period required for a concentration of a drug to decrease by 1/2 of its original concentration. It is the time period required for the concentration of a drug to decrease by 1/2. When T is equals to T half and C is equals to C naught by 2, the equation becomes T half is equals to C naught by 2 K naught. That is nothing but T half is equals to 0.5 C naught by K naught. The examples of zero order process are metabolism, protein drug binding, enzyme or carrier mediated transport under saturated conditions. under the saturated conditions, whether it can be metabolism or protein binding of drug or any enzyme mediated carrier transport, undergoes zero order kinetics. And similarly, whenever the drug is administered through constant IV infusion, in case of IV infusion also zero order kinetics are seen, and even in case of controlled drug delivery such as that from IM implants or osmotic pumps, even in that case also zero order kinetics are seen. Coming to first order kinetics or linear kinetics. The first order process is the one whose rate is directly proportional to the concentration of a drug undergoing reaction. Greater the concentration, faster will be the reaction in case of first order kinetics. The equation is log C is equals to log C naught minus Kt by 2.303. Similarly, log C naught is equals log C is equals to log C naught minus 0.434 Kt. Whenever you plot a semi-logarithm plot of log C versus time, so this is the semi-logarithm plot of log C, log concentration versus time, you get a straight line whose slope is equals to minus k by 2.303 and y-intercept is equals to log C naught. This is a regular plot and this is a semi-logarithm plot. And whenever we plot a semi-logarithm plot, it yields a straight line of slope is equals to minus k by 2.303 and y-intercept is equals to log C naught. So for the processes which undergo first order kinetics, a semi-logarithm plot of log C versus time gives a straight line from which we can calculate K and C naught. The half-life of first order processes is constant and independent of initial drug concentration. This is an important point. The half-life of first order process is constant and independent of initial drug concentration, and irrespective of what the initial drug concentration is, the time required for the concentration to decrease by 1/2 remains same. Half-life is independent of the initial drug concentration, whether you take 10 mg or 20 mg or 30 mg. The time required for the concentration to decrease by 1/2 remains same in case of first order kinetics. The T-half of first order process is an important pharmacokinetic parameter and it can be calculated by the equation T-half is equals to 0.693 by K. This is a basic equation. T-half is equals to 0.693 by K. Coming to mixed order kinetics or non-linear kinetics. A mixture of both first order and zero order kinetics is observed in case of non-linear kinetics. Hence, the processes are said to be mixed order kinetics. And since the deviation from an original linear pharmacokinetic profile is observed, the rate processes of such drug are called to be non-linear, since there is a deviation from the original linear pharmacokinetic profile. The rate processes are said to be non-linear. And mixed order kinetics are also termed as dose-dependent kinetics, as it is observed at increased or multiple doses with some drugs. The examples of nonlinear pharmacokinetics are seen in ADME, like in case of drug absorption, the example is vitamin C. In case of distribution, nonlinear distribution occurs in case of drugs such as naproxen, and nonlinear drug elimination occurs with riboflavin. Nonlinear kinetics is as such a very important topic, and for further details you can refer our nonlinear pharmacokinetics video.